Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are talking about the Advanced Player's Guide, Ratfolk. So buckle up and let's get started. If this is your first time here, be sure to smash that subscribe button and give us a like if you want to see more Pathfinder content. I want to quickly thank our patrons. Without their continued support, we wouldn't be able to bring you content like this at the level that we bring it. We're going to be bringing much more stuff for you in the coming weeks. If you want to check out some of our live plays, head on over to the channel. You can check out live plays of Pathfinder, D&D, all sorts of other game systems. We do interviews with industry people, other YouTubers, all sorts of other things like that on the RPG Talk playlist. So go check that out. If you want to pick up the Advanced Player's Guide and you haven't got that yet, you can click the Amazon link below. We get a little tiny commission. It does not cost you anything, but it does help the channel out significantly. So thank you again if you've done that in the past, and if you continue to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get into the content, right? The Ratfolk. So the Ratfolk, I think, are really cool. It's one of my favorite ancestries in all of Pathfinder. They do only get 6 hit points. They get ability boost in Dex and Intelligence and a free boost. Because of that, they get a flaw, which is their strength, but that's okay. They know multiple different languages. They also get low light vision. So you can see in dim light as though it were bright light, and you ignore the concealed condition due to dim light. So the different heritages, there are 5. There's the deep rat, the desert rat, long snout rat, sewer rat, and shadow rat. The deep rat, your ancestors live deeper underground than other ratfolk, granting you the ability to see in the dark. So you basically upgrade from low light vision to dark vision. That's cool. I mean, it's not anything too over the top. It just gives you dark vision. The desert rat, you are native to arid plains and likely grew up traveling the roads. You have a leaner build than other ratfolk, with longer limbs and short fur. If you have both hands free, you can increase your speed to 30 feet instead of 25 feet as you run on all 4s. In addition, environmental heat effects are 1 step less extreme for you, and you can go 10 times as long as normal before you are affected by starvation or thirst. However, unless you wear protective gear or take shelter, environmental cold effects are 1 step more extreme for you. So you're going to have to struggle if you're dealing with a lot of cold stuff. This one I think is, again, just like what I said in some of the other videos where you get these types of things. The speed is nice, but I don't think it's going to be all that great, to be honest, especially when you're talking about cold being worse for you. So again, it's going to depend on your campaign. I don't know if this is one I would play, to be honest. The long snout rat. The long snouts that run in your family give you a keener sense of smell than most ratfolk. You gain imprecise scent with a range of 30 feet. This means you can use your sense of smell to determine a creature's location, as explained on page 465 of the rulebook. The GM will usually double the range if you're downwind from the creature, or half the range if you're upwind. In addition, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks to seek a creature or object within the range of your scent. This is huge. Like, if there's an invisible creature, there's a chance you're going to find it. Like, I just feel like this is one of the best things you can actually have. And this is going to work for so many different types of classes, in my opinion. And it's just going to help the group as a whole. The sewer rat. You come from a long line of, I can't ever say this, Isoki, from a community based in the sewers beneath a large settlement. You are immune to the disease filth fever. Each of your successful saving throws against a disease or poison reduces its stage by 2. Or by 1 for a virulent disease or poison. Each critical success against an ongoing disease or poison reduces its stage by 3, or by 2 for a virulent disease or poison. So this is a little bit better than some of the other things that give you a circumstance bonus to disease. So again, I could see playing this type of rat much more so than some of the others. Plus the poison being on top of that is pretty nice, right? It's a nice thing to have some defense against. The Shadow Rat. Your ancestors lived in dark spaces underground, granting you dark fur and vaguely unnatural mane that unnerves sapient creatures and frightens animals. You gain the trained proficiency rank in intimidation and can use intimidation to coerce animals. When you demoralize an animal, you don't take a penalty for not sharing a language with it. If you would automatically become trained in intimidation from your background or class, for example, you become trained in another skill of your choice. Animals' attitudes toward you begin 1 degree worse than normal, usually starting at unfriendly instead of indifferent for domesticated animals, and hostile instead of unfriendly or wild animals. So this is a big one. This, depending on the type of character you want to play, I could see you avoiding this like crazy or really playing it up, right? Being able to demoralize other animals is great. All right, so let's just dive into some of the feats here. Again, I think the rats have a lot of flavor to the ancestry, and I think it's going to be a really fun ancestry to play for a lot of different classes. So, cheek pouches. Your cheeks are stretchy, and you can store up to 4 items of light bulk or less in these cheek pouches. None of these items can have a dimension longer than 1 foot. As long as you have at least 1 item in your cheek pouches, your speech is noticeably difficult to understand. Placing an item in your cheek pouch or retrieving one is an interact action. You can empty your mouth with a single action, causing everything you had stored in your cheek pouches to fall to the ground in your square. Again, it's good for flavor. As for the talking aspect being difficult, I think it would still make it kind of hard to smuggle things in places, but at the same time, I would still try it. And maybe you have a character in your group who can help you with some kind of ventriloquism kind of deal to speak for you, and that maybe that'll help. I don't know. Pack rat. Years of packing for travel have taught you how to cram vast quantities into small spaces. You can fit an additional 50% of the listed bulk capacity into mundane storage containers or vehicles. For example, you can fit 6 bulk in a backpack or 12 bulk in a chest. This doesn't alter the item's bulk, nor does it change how much you can store in a magical or extra dimensional storage space, such as a bag of holding. Again, I think that's cool. It allows you to fit more bulk in certain items, so that's kind of nice. And maybe this character would help other characters in the group pack their things too. Rat familiar. You have a pet rat that has become magically bonded to you. You gain a familiar using the rules. And this familiar must be a rat. It still gets the benefits of familiar abilities, but its base form remains a rat. A rat with a rat. I love it. I just love this one. I just feel like that would be a lot of fun, having a little tiny rat with your ratfolk. Ratfolk lore. Years of experience among ratfolk communities have made you nimble. You have learned to run and hide when enemies threaten. You gain the trained proficiency rank in acrobatics and stealth. If you would automatically become trained, obviously you get whatever you want. You also become trained in ratfolk lore. So again, that's a pretty big one, having stealth and acrobatics. Those are used quite a bit in my opinion. Rat speak. To you, the squeaking of rats and other rodents makes a strange kind of sense. You can ask questions of, receive answers from, and use the diplomacy skill with rodents, including beavers, mice, porcupines, rats, and squirrels, but not with other mammals such as dogs or bats. The GM determines which animals count as rodents. I think that's kind of cool, being able to communicate with things like that. Might even make it so that you get more of those to like keep in a cage and take with you and have them scout for you and things like that. So again, I think that could be really useful. Tinkering fingers. You're good with your hands and can quickly improvise a fix for broken or damaged equipment. You're trained in crafting. If you would automatically become trained in crafting, instead become trained in a skill of your choice. You can repair an item without using a repair kit, without taking the -2 circumstance penalty, improvising tools from whatever you have at hand. So again, that could be fun. That could be cool. Again, I don't think that's class specific either. Vicious incisors. So here comes one of those bite things. You've let your incisors grow long enough to serve as formidable weapons. You gain a Jaws unarmed attack that deals 1d6 piercing damage. Your jaws are in the brawling group and have the finesse and unarmed traits. Unlike most creatures, you can file down your teeth and regrow them later on, enabling you to select this feat at any level and to retrain into and out of this feat. So unlike the others, you can take this, you can trade it for something else, depending on what you need while playing. So I think this is a good one. It's a little better than some of the other ones because of that. And it's flavorful, right? Because that's just how Ratfolk are. Warren Navigator. You're particularly good at solving mazes and navigating twists and turns. You gain the trained proficiency rank in survival. If you would automatically become trained in survival from your background or class, for example, you become trained in another skill of your choice. When you sense direction or attempt a roll against a maze spell, you get a result 1 degree of success better than you rolled. You don't take a penalty to sense direction when you lack a compass. This is a big one. Again, it's very situational. There's going to be a lot of games where this never comes up. But at the same time, if you know you're going to be in dungeons and things like that, this is something that you might want to take. At 5th level, Lab Rat. You've spent more than your share of time in an alchemy lab. You might have been an alchemist yourself, an assistant, or perhaps even a test subject. Either way, you have been exposed to a wide variety of alchemical poisons and elixirs, leaving you with increased tolerance of their effects. You have a +1 circumstance bonus to saves against poison and harmful effects from elixirs. If you roll a success on your saving throw against an elixir or poison, you get a critical success instead. Again, I think this is cool. This really pushes playing an alchemist, so that's good as well. Quick Stow. So if you have cheek pouches, you can use this once per round. You are adept at quickly moving items into your cheek pouches. You interact to store 1 held item in your cheek pouches, provided it fits. Rat magic. There always seems to be a little rat around to carry messages for you. You can cast Animal Messenger once per day as a primal innate spell. When you do, the animal that responds is always a rat. If there are no rats within range, the spell is lost. It's basically leaving it up to your GM how effective this is going to be. It allows you, if you're in a dungeon, if you're in a city or whatever, to do this, and then hopefully the game master says, yeah, there's a rat nearby. Here he is. That would, again, this depends on your GM. I could see this being really awesome if you have a very loose, fun GM that's going to let you use it a lot. But I could also see this hampering you and being a waste of a feat if you have a GM who just doesn't want to throw you a bone ever. 9th level Feats. Big mouth. Prerequisite cheek pouches. Your cheek pouches are especially stretchy. Instead of storing up to 4 items of light bulk in your cheek pouches, you can store 1 bulk worth of items. The maximum size of a given item is unchanged. So it still can't be bigger than 1 foot, but it can be a little bit heavier. Overcrowd. Your physiology is slight, and you can pack into small spaces with others of similar stature, as long as you are small. You can end your movement in the same square as a small ally. Only 2 creatures total can share the same space when using this ability or a similar one. So this would be kind of cool if you're playing as multiple Ratfolk characters, right? Or halfling, or gnome, like a lot of those smaller creatures, right? Rat form. You can transform into an innocuous-looking rat to scout an area or slip through tight spaces. You gain the effects of a first-level pest form spell, except that you must assume the battle form of a tiny rat. This takes 1 action. It is a concentrate. But being able to change into a small-looking rat, I think could be really useful in a lot of senses, especially if you have, a high dex. Maybe you're a rogue and you can do stealthy types of things, get information. This would be really cool. Working in cities a lot, sewers, you will use this. And I could see taking this for a lot of builds just because of that. 13th level, Warren Dagger. You've learned to put your sturdy claws to work digging through the earth. You gain a burrow speed of 15 feet. That's also really cool. Being able to burrow, could definitely use that quite a bit. Moving, underground. Maybe you tunnel under a door. Maybe you tunnel to hide. This could be really big. So I think Ratfolk could be a lot of fun to play. They are small creatures. So I probably would not play them as a lot of martial classes personally, but I could see playing them as a rogue. I could see playing them as a bard. I could see playing them as a wizard. That intelligence modifier is a big deal. There's a lot of things you could play them as. I think they could do a lot of good things, right? the most important thing is it's fun. I could see a lot of fun role play with this Ancestry, and for me, that trumps all the mechanical things to it. But the mechanical stuff is good, being able to hide things. I could see myself playing this, eating a lot of stuff, just role playing just a ton of stuff, just putting into my mouth any chance I get. Like you pick something up, put it in your mouth. Imagine like a toddler, how they put toys in their mouth and stuff all the time. That's how I could see playing a Ratfolk. So again, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Would love to hear your thoughts on the Ratfolk below. If you are just tuning into this channel and you're very interested in this type of content, we've done other videos on the Catfolk, the Kobold, the Orcs from the Advanced Player's Guide, and we're going to have more moving forward. So if this is your first time here, smash that subscribe button. If you want to watch some of those videos, click the links up here to the playlists so you can go check those out, and all that. If you want to support us, head on over to our Patreon. We would love to have you contribute a little bit there. If you want to buy some of our Master the Game shirts or stickers or whatever, you can go to the store below. And if you have not bought the Advanced Player's Guide yet, if you buy it from the Amazon link below, we do get a small commission. It does not charge you any more. In fact, you're still going to be paying less than MSRP usually, and it helps us out quite a bit. So thank you for watching. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.